mysterious stories.
These videos will be terrifying people from enigmatic animals to rogue machines for years to come. Number 14. It seems that someone in Festus, Missouri has been intentionally placing these realistic toddler-sized dolls across the city, which has residents terrified. The dolls appear to have their hands sewed to their faces and, in my opinion, give off the illusion of a lost and wailing child when left anywhere. Despite the fact that that's strange enough, as they began popping up in strange positions, like sticking out from at the back of the garbage or leaping over the pebbles without a head, I couldn't help but ask myself whether this is more than a jest, as a foreshadowing of things to come. I mean, it may simply be a bunch of bored youngsters in a tiny town seeking some attention. Perhaps they are keen on watching from afar when people rush to aid and listening to local legends grow. I hope that that is what it is and not the work of a true emerging psycho who hopes to advance from dolls to real people in the neighborhood eventually. Number 13. What appears to be a gigantic bird gradually transforms into a human-shaped head.
Maje, ¿qué es esa onda? ¿Estás viendo eso?
Listen carefully and, if possible, attempt to translate. The legs and abdomen of an insect appear about 12 seconds into the film. The fully extended wings include ridged webbing that closely mimics a bat at 13 seconds. Do you have any ideas about what this is? Number 12. Proper Good Games, a YouTube channel, seems to be streaming Pokemon when a game moves quickly across the room off camera.
I thought when people ate quail it was like eating a fancy.
Oh my god!
Because both of them are staring at each other and not moving when it takes place, it couldn't be them. After that, she says something that makes me feel like this occurs all the time. Do you have confidence in her? When he proceeds to pick up the game, he lets out a gasp as the temperature in this area of the room drops dramatically. Is this, once again, genuine or just good acting?
It's really cold weather, isn't it?
Sure, it actually is.
Number 11. Everyone is surprised by Jacob Pina's thumb, and it's understandable. To give you a better idea of scale, the handles appear to be approximately a third the size of Jacob's thumb, and the faucet itself is roughly the same size. And no, this isn't any type of editing. There seem to be numerous other films of this type on his TikTok account, which are described in the description below. Number 10. There is no doubt that Jenny Smith is an animal scientist. When she is alone in nature one day, a kingfisher bird makes friends with her, almost as if it recognizes her as an ally of the animal kingdom. Despite the fact that this is bizarre enough on its own, it doesn't draw to a close there. It appears that the bright blue bird is enjoying a mild scratch when immediately its frail neck twists to a 360-degree angle and appears to be about to snap, even with Jenny's extra gentle touch. Despite the fact that I believe its neck was made to do this and it is simply reacting to being handled, I can notice how that could frighten someone. However, after a while, when Jenny prepares to let go, the wild animal appears to be hesitant to leave. Because it doesn't appear sick or injured, I was curious about what you believe is going on here. Some Twitter users believe this is just a contingent event in nature, while others believe it is a terrifying omen. To them, the bird is signaling that the fate of its entire species is within our reach, and when it refuses to leave, it is demonstrating that it is relying on people to make a difference. Despite the fact that I realize that theory is a little difficult to accept, I want to hear your take on the problem. Number 9. There seems to be someone costumed exactly like Pennywise has been terrifying residents of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the voice is as authentic as the suit and makeup. Examine this video and let me know what he's saying since I'm not sure what he's saying.
Dynasty with you.
He appears to be asking the person if they have someone with them, and I wanted to have an idea who he was seeking. No matter who it is, it seems like he says he'll see her in her dreams after that. However, I don't know and need your aid to confirm. Number 8. A YouTuber, is using her phone for fun on the floor when her CCTV system captures an unusual and perhaps paranormal show at the back of her. The curiously proportioned ghost is made up of only 2 arms and a head. The face consists of a single eye in the center, almost as though it was staring at her from the side. Because the video itself appears to be a little pixelated, I make a guess that this is special effects, or perhaps a short reflection of something against the wall, despite the fact that I can't determine what. Stranger still, it comes exactly at the back of her, out of nowhere else in the room, almost as if it is self-aware and chooses to be so. Number 7. There is a man marching into a store and begins yelling about his life when he pours liquid from a red canister all over himself. Despite the fact that the two persons closest to him leave in horror, others remain motionless, and some do not even bother to turn around. All you need to do is hear this piercing yell to realize he's serious. However, this is Eastside Evo, a personality with over 1 million followers who performs this for fun. Because he seems to spill what is essentially ordinary water, did he technically breach any other laws other than causing a public disturbance? Despite the fact that I don't know what I would do in this situation, I would like to know if you thought it was funny or dangerous. In addition, more crucially, whether or not it is legal. Number 6. Dolphin Treasure, a user on the Chills Narrator subreddit, submitted this after her dog Bandit started worrying her out. In an otherwise quiet, normal-looking environment, Bandit goes on glancing up and growling at anything it becomes aware of a threat.
Bandit, what's bothering you?
Because there's a lot of memorabilia that could be disturbing her dog, she removes items off her shelf one by one to show. It actually needs to pay attention that this dog has never acted this way in front of any of the goods on the shelf before, and was previously sitting happily in her lap.
Is that who you're barking at? No? My gosh, dude, you are freaking me out.
After a while, she realizes it's not on the shelf, but much higher up, like on the ceiling. However, there's not anything up there that I can think of that would keep a tiny dog's attention for that long, especially with such tenacity. Number 5. Despite the fact that it seems that this extremely realistic movie has the internet in a frenzy, I would like to clear the air and state unequivocally that there is no robot revolution. This is the work of Maxim Sullivan, a 3D artist. It's entirely computer-generated graphics overlaid over a background video filmed with his phone. Even around 14 seconds in, when the robot goes straight towards the camera, it keeps detailed clarity with no visible pixelation around the edges. It is wonderful because this is merely a test film that he posted without much thinking, never had the intention of going popular. With that said, here's a video that's a fraction as popular, a lot more authentic, and honestly freaks me out. Despite the fact that maybe it's the inscrutable face, or the squeaky mechanical feet, or the fingers as long as its hands, something doesn't feel right about this android. The worst part is that I suppose that I see it blink at 15 and 18 seconds, although it could just be the face being rocked by the force of its own hefty feet. Keep an eye on this and let me know if you see it blink. The only thing more gruesome than seeing it walk is watching it try to imitate emotion. Despite the fact that it switches to a pleasant, uplifting tune with excellent timing, the eyes aren't pleased, and the grin isn't genuine or purposeful. Of course, scientists are doing research on it as well. This child robot is designed to learn through observation in the same way that humans do. Its grayish, rubbery skin is coated in sensors that allow it to perceive touch and process other senses. It begins by rolling around like a toddler, and researchers were able to educate it to sit straight and emulate human habits following meticulous and constant daily encounters. Even though the robot appears to be content for the most part, at 3:56, its face twists into shock and pain, an expression that is never duplicated in any other part of the video. I couldn't help but be curious about whether this robot feels aggrieved at being compulsory to study against its will, and whether it would rather not have existed at all. Number 4. A man's pet cat is captured for the first time ever admiring its reflection in a mirror by him. The animal seems enthralled, and it repeatedly tests the reflection by gingerly putting one paw before the other, almost as though it doesn't completely have confidence in what it is witnessing. The cat sits down and glances behind for a moment, convinced that this mirror image is not a threat. However, as it turns out, its first instincts were correct all along. Unless you notice, the cat's reflection does not correspond to the cat's own motions. So, what are your thoughts? Was this a special effect or a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence captured on video? I'm confident that the house is haunted because it appears too realistic to be the result of amateur video editing. Number 3. It is believed that this video was shot in Indianapolis and was dashcam footage from a woman's automobile. According to reports, the vehicle was surrounded by 5 masked individuals and they seized anything they desired from it when the driver remained inside. The driver's frightened shouts captured on the dashcam during the event are the creepiest part of this film, which has been scaring people out since it was published.
Where did you get them? Come here. What are you doing?
He creepily moves up to the front of the vehicle. Even frightening, the entire incident took place in broad daylight in a parking lot. It's enough to get me to reconsider the next time I'm out and about. Number 2. Despite the fact that humans have always built computers, on this person does not exist.com, it's right now the other way around. It employs a powerful computer algorithm to generate realistic images of people who were never born. Even though it's bizarre enough to look into the eyes of a photorealistic person who doesn't exist, get this, sometimes, the computer messes up. This is the end outcome. The whole lower jaw of a fictional man is put back with a substantial chunk of erroneous data in this first malfunction. He appears to be shouting into the abyss, and the shocked, hollow look in his eyes just adds to the effect. When the computer makes a mistake, it produces objects like this terrifying humanoid sidekick with a jack-o'-lantern grin and, weirdly enough, glasses under light green eyes that do not even fully surround the iris. The spectacles lack a nose piece since, well, the creature lacks a nose. Number 1. Brady Galloway, a YouTuber, is discovering an abandoned school by himself when he listens to a high-pitched cry escape from the other side of a hefty wooden door. It bears resemblance to a tiny dog, despite the fact that there is no way a dog could come back here. Then he opens the door, probably to see whether the animal requires assistance, and on the other side is a once human creature. One eye appears huge and golden in this frame, while the other is little and red. His neck appears to be bent at an unnatural position and nearly shattered. Even as he approaches closer, the 2 eyes are still different colors, and none of them looks natural as he falls on Andy with the last strike. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because I upload a new video every day. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of my other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy.